This video is sponsored by Ohenewaa Mother Care.
Hi, my name is Ohenewaa. I'm a banker and I have two sweet little girls, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Initially, I thought I have 4 children, but I think the two, I'm okay, I'm fine. So for my first pregnancy, I took a test, but before the test, I felt some way. All of a sudden, my face, I think my looks changed. I had swollen up, like my face was swollen up, my lips were swollen. I didn't know, I was telling my husband that I look different, but he said he couldn't tell. But I could feel I looked different. And then one day at work, after eating, I was trying to push my tummy in. You know, women there, we're always pushing our tummy in so we look good in our dress. So I tried pushing in, didn't go. It's like, this is strange. So I think that day after work, went to the pharmacy and I got the test kits. And I did it the next morning, early morning, with the first urine, because I hear you get the accurate results with that one. So I checked and it was positive. I won't say I was excited when I found out, because I just been married for roughly 2 months, about two months. So I wasn't so excited. I was so excited. I was also not sad. But when I told my husband, he was happy, he was excited. But I was like, why are you happy? Because I didn't want this. I was like, I don't know when I wanted it or not. But anyways, fine. So when we went to the hospital after that was when the doctor told me, after asking me a few questions, that I got pregnant 4 days after we got married. Wow. Like, that's fast. Like, we didn't have a talk whether we are waiting or we are not. But we had not also had a talk that we want to have. I didn't prepare my mind for that one. So, but with time I got happy. But initially, it was fine. For my second, that one day, I planned it. I planned that. When the first is 2, the second should be here. So when my first was around 1 year, 3 months, I told my husband I'm ready for the second one. So I planned it. So that one I even took tests that were negative before I got the actual positive test, and I was excited. So for the second one, the feeling was if I was excited about it as compared to the first one. The funny part is, though I was not ready, I didn't take any precautions. I don't know. I thought in my mind I have to decide that I'm ready, then my body too will go according to my mind. Because I had not taken any precautions, but I just felt it won't come so quickly. I didn't really think it would come so quickly, but 4 days. I mean, before we could settle in, I was pregnant. It's all good, we thank God. The first one, as I said, I was not ready for it. And honestly, that was when I got to know that I knew nothing about pregnancy. I had seen pregnant women walking around. I didn't know this was how the pregnancy was. I mean, there's morning sickness, there's uneasy feeling, there's emotional imbalance, the crying, there's craving, there's heartburn, leg pain, back pain, everywhere pain. I didn't know all these things till I actually got pregnant. So I actually found out these things through experience. I was not told. I had no idea. So the first one, I wasn't excited. It wasn't exciting for me at all. From the beginning, with the morning sickness. That morning sickness like go to my second trimester. Then that one I actually forced it. I don't know how, but I actually forced the morning sickness to stop. I just decided not to throw up again because I was tired. And then the cravings were there, but my cravings were not too much because I was having a lot of heartburns. So if I eat by heart, I get a lot. So even if I crave something, I just think about the heartburns I'll get later on, and I'll brush it off. So it was just taking a lot of water. I make sure I eat early, after 6. I'm not eating anything. If I'll take it, then it's milk. Even that one cry, I'll still get a heartburn. So Malox was my friend. Malox. I don't even measure. I just pour it into my mouth. I just know the quantity I need. So my friend called the heartburn was. And with both pregnancy, I think I was admitted once in the hospital for something. The first one was for malaria. The second was for food poisoning. So once in my pregnancy, I was always admitted for one thing or the other for about 3 days. So though entirely wasn't difficult because I was active, I was going to work and all that. But small things, then back pain, then some muscle pull here. But for my first, it was the heartburns. The heartburns killed it for me. But my second, I didn't get any heartburns, so I wanna eat. I ate a lot. No wonder my baby was a big baby. We ate a lot. The second, I think it's because I had prepped my mind for it and I've already been through the first. The second, I was expecting certain things. It was a walk in the park for me for the second. Even for the first, I think after 36 weeks, I was done. I was ready to have my baby. So I think I even stopped going to work at 36 weeks. But for my second, I went to like 38. I even wanted to go to the last day. But my doctor said, oh, I should just come home and have some rest and wait for labor. So basically, it was fine. And the care you get when you're a pregnant woman, oh, though the abroa is annoying when they call you abroa, it's annoying, but I don't get to, there was a day I went to the bank. We were all standing. I was standing with my belly. And all of a sudden, one of the teller got up. Like, madam, come. She was like, someone gave her a call that there's a pregnant woman standing there. Can you see? She just called me. I just did what I have to do and was out of the bank. So those are very nice. You don't join queue when you're pregnant. When you get there, oh, manim bessie. That's the nice part about pregnancy. And all the food you get to eat and all the pampering. Like, oh, it's nice, but I don't think it's nice enough for me to go again. The visits to the doctor, that one is the normal. She will check do the scan and look at the baby and tell you baby is growing fine, baby is as big as this, or if baby has turned and all those things. But they had these antenatal classes. That's where you actually get to know a lot about pregnancy. It was at antenatal classes that I found out that babies eat every 2 hours. I had no idea. I was shocked. Even though I downloaded these apps as well, the baby center app and what to expect apps along the line. It was only at antenatal classes they were having discussion about caring for a baby that I found out that babies eat every 2 hours, and I was shocked and I was not happy about it. But the normal hospital sessions that we go see the doctor, it was cool. My doctor was friendly. You could ask any question. But honestly, my first appointment with him, he gave me a book. Oh, I've forgotten the name of the book. He gave me a book. Something woman. So everything is in the book. I mean, everything. So when you go there and go asking a question about, oh, I'm feeling like this, and it was like, have you read chapter this of the book? Like, I don't think so. If you've read it, you know that what you're feeling is normal. So I think after that, I just went to read a book. And anytime I go for, are you fine? Oh yes, everything is fine. I don't bother. Unless there are extreme cases, but the book was helpful. Even when I was in labor, I was reading that book and it was guiding me to what I was supposed to do. That whole week I had been feeling uneasy. So on the Friday I went to the hospital. I told them that I'm not feeling so well. And I don't know if I'm in labor. I go, if you don't know you're in labor, then you're not in labor. So he just checked me and all that and told me, oh, I should go back home and rest. So Saturday morning, I was asleep when I felt some pains. And honestly, I've not been in labor before, but that pain, when I felt, I knew, oh, it's time. This is labor. So I woke up and I told my mom about it. And my mom had been telling her the whole week that I'm in labor, I'm not feeling well, I'm in labor. She had been brushing me off. That, oh, if you're in labor, you know. Once you are telling me I'm in labor, you're not in labor. So I told her in the morning that I'm feeling something like it's time, it's happening. She's like, oh, okay. I think mothers, they have experience. She was like, oh, okay. In the Ghanaian hospital. We came to pound fufu. She made me pound fufu with her. I ate the fufu. We're sitting, we're chatting. Although the whole time I was going through pain, but it was in sessions. I mean, after every maybe 30 minutes, I get the pain and it's strong. And I tried not to scream too, because if I scream, my dad would say I should go to the hospital. But I wasn't ready to go to the hospital. I wanted the first part of labor, I wanted to survive at home, so that when I go to the hospital, I know I won't keep so long. So I couldn't also shout, because if my dad hears me shouting, I'm going to the hospital. And I called my husband in the morning. I mostly go to my parents 2 weeks before my due date, so because I was alone at home, so I needed someone. I called my husband that morning too that, it seems I'm in labor, but I think the way I said it he didn't take me seriously. So after the full session and everything, I was at home and I told my mom that now the pain is getting out of hand around 3 p.m. So I'm ready to go to the hospital. Even that one, she was still conversing with my dad. I mean, like, nothing is happening. That was when I gave one scream and my dad knew that, so you're in labor, let's go. So on the way, I called my husband too, on the way that I'm going to the hospital. It seems I'm in labor. He told me I just arrived at a wedding. Imagine. When he got down from the car, and I just called him, so he just sat in the car and then he drove off. When I got to the hospital, it was fine. I was composed. I walked in nicely. I told them that, it seems I'm in labor. I'm like, hey. Now, walk out now, we need we are sure. It's like, hey, am I supposed to be throwing my arms here and there? So when my mom and brother wanted to go for my things, I told them, they should hold on. The way the nurses are behaving, maybe I'm not in labor, so they shouldn't bring my things yet. So they went in and I got checked. When she checked my dilation, I was 4 centimeters or 5. She was like, hey, you are in labor. You could have given birth at home. I was like, obviously, that's why I'm here. And then she asked them to bring my things. When I got there, I was fine. The pain was there, but it was manageable. So they started giving me these infusions and, hey, all of a sudden, I couldn't stand. I couldn't sit. I don't like to sleep when I'm in labor. I don't like to lie down. They told me to say, lie down. That's how I like to spend most of the time at home. If you lie down, I couldn't do anything. I even vomited there. The fufu that I ate, it all came out. Everybody saw it that, so you ate fufu before. I couldn't do it. Well. But I was still composing. Although I was in pain. I was hitting the wall. I think I was venting my pain on the wall. So that was basically it. So I got around 3 by 6:30. I had given birth. So it wasn't so long. It was a quick and a painful one. And with the pushing, there should be a whole class on pushing. I think so. There should be a whole class on how to push for a first-time mom. Because when I got in there, I pushed with all my energy. Then I said, I grew up and I would do. I think the pushing stage, my midwife class at a point in time, she got sort of angry. So a doctor had to come in. The doctor came in. She was more nice. Nice. I was really trying, but it seems it was just in vain. So at the final stage, I had to do the episiotomy to actually let the baby come out. So the pushing stage, I lasted for about 40 minutes. Wow. I mean, I was pushing, but it seems it was just noise I was making. So I think there should be a whole class on how to push. So my second two, that one, I think in the whole day, same feeling. Like you start feeling weird the whole week. So I went to the hospital and she actually got to 40 weeks. My first, around 38 weeks, I gave birth. I was hoping the second one too would be the same, 38. After 38 weeks, I was ready for this girl. But no, 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 no. So I even went to the hospital and I was scheduled for an induction. That's by my 40th week. That day, if she doesn't come, they will induce for me to come. So I went to labor the night before the induction. It was around midnight. For the second one, I couldn't. I wanted to do the same thing, wait at home and everything. But the moment it started, the pain was. Whoosh. I was like, no, 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 I'm ready, I'm ready. I was even quiet. I was in the room alone with my first girl. So I wanted to quietly endure. But it was too much. I just went out and told my mother that I think it's time. And then she had my brother drive me to the hospital. And when I got there too, I was 5 centimeters. So they started preparing me and everything. They put the infusions there as usual. As usual, I don't like to lie down when I'm in labor. For my second, I was so active. During labor, I was walking, even with my 5 centimeters, I was walking up and down. I wanted everything to, I hear the walking progresses, so I don't like to lie down. I was walking to a point in time, they told me that it seems the umbilical cord is coming out first, so I cannot walk anymore. I should lie down, and they put pillows behind me. Then I was lying like this. Oh, as uncomfortable as labor is, they are letting you lie with your head down and my legs up. So at the point in time, I knew my baby was quite big because within 1 week she moved from 3.2 to 3.6. Like, wow. But the doctor was hopeful that birth weight will not go. She said it's an estimate, so birth weight should be around 3.6. My first was 3.2. Even that when I got an episiotomy. So when I got into labor, at 8 centimeters, I wasn't progressing. So I thought it's because of the weight. I kept on telling her that, hey, my baby is big. The last time I came, she was big. Why are you sure that's why I'm not progressing? They're like, oh, no, 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 no. 3.6, 3.8, even 4, people push. Wow. So at a point in time, I even got tired. I thought I can't stand the pain anymore. I've been at 8 for too long. I want to have a cesarean section. So they should call the doctor for me. That's when the doctor came in and saying that there should be a reason for a cesarean. Right now, the baby's heartbeat is fine. It seems my dilation has progressed nicely, so he doesn't see the need for a C-section. So I should just endure the pain for a while. So I was even forcing him to give me a time that if at 7 a.m. I've not given birth, they'll do the C-section. But he was reluctant. By then he said, okay, he has heard. But I think when he got 7, they were changing doctors. And they were changing nurses. So another nurse came in. And at 7 a.m. I was having the serious urge to push. Many times I tried to push, I would say, no, it's not time yet, don't push. But it's like you want to push. Like, I got to a point the edge was there, I couldn't stop it. So it was another nurse that came in and she was actually the one who delivered my first baby. Was there during my first delivery. So when I saw her, I was happy that she's here. So she came and then she checked and she was like, oh, it seems I'm ready to push. And for this one, because I had the edge, I think the pushing was simpler. That was when I got to know the first one, I didn't have the edge. The pushing edge was not there, so I didn't know how to. But for the second one, I think the pushing stage lasted less than 10 minutes. I actually had the edge and I pushed with all my energy. Then baby was delivered. At a point in time, when she was pushing the baby out, you could see her, hey, baby, no sumo, kolani sumo. Go and call doctor. That was like, hey, what's happening? So then, but when the doctor got in, she was able to push baby out, and baby had 10 quite blue. You could see she has been in distress. They clean her up and everything, and then I got a few tests because obviously big baby, no episiotomy. Got a few tests and everything. So that day, of course, they cleaned her up. Baby was wrapped up nicely. We couldn't tell there was a problem then. So it was later in the day that a doctor came to actually analyze it. But that's when they come and check the eyes, the legs, they check whether everything is working. That was when they later came to tell me, seems her right arm is weak. It's weak. So that was when the midwife herself said that honestly, when she was pulling her, she was having a hard time. So she feels she might have pulled the arm a bit. So the arm is quite weak. But they were like, sometimes these things happen and with a little rest she'll be fine or something like that. So at that time I was still excited that she was here, so I didn't want to think too much into it. I was okay. But honestly, if they had not told me, I would have noticed, I would have taken a look, because their babies are always like this. So but was when they told me, I looked at it, I saw it wasn't moving and it had tilted a bit to the side. But at least when you hold her fingers, she could move her fingers a bit. It's just the arm that was not going up. So it was later that they called a pediatrician actually, who told us to do an X-ray as soon as possible. So we did the X-ray and hopefully there were no broken bones. So she came in, I think she came in the next day in the evening. And then she checked. Well, then she tried dropping the baby and she noticed that one arm went up, but the other didn't go up. It's like you are trying to scare someone. Then she didn't say anything. She was like, you should just go home and put the arm to rest. We should sling the arm. So mother was like, oh, but just that, what's wrong? Tell us. I was like, well, SMP, I don't want to worry you with that now. So you just go and, you just go and rest the arm. So at the hospital, they bandaged the arm. One another thing too at the hospital was when I didn't start breastfeeding at once, though I had given birth before and everything, though I put her on the breast and everything. Due to the whole stress, I wasn't breastfeeding well. So there are times when when we're going to do the X-ray, I was like, oh, they should give her milk before we go. One doctor was like, no, no, follow the headache. I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I'm here, my daughter, one hand is not moving. I'm like, I know I have to breastfeed, but I can't breastfeed under this condition. I have to go home and clear my mind and breastfeed. I was so annoyed, I was so sad at the same time. That when there's a problem and we are trying to find the problem, you're asking me, so we are just wanted out of the place. So when the doctor came in, we went home. They sling the arm. So she went home with the arm on the chest like this. We wanted to actually go for a second opinion from another hospital within the 1 week. But when we made the inquiries from the other hospital, we found out that it was the same woman who was at the hospital. So we didn't go. We waited for the 1 week, we went back. And then she told us that it was ERB'S palsy. Because honestly, it seems some people, when they go and rest the arm, it gets better, I guess, fine. But after the 1 week rest, it was still not moving as much as it should. Well, it was still the same. Nothing had changed about the arm. Just the fingers that were moving. That was when she told us it was ERB'S palsy. And I never heard of ERB'S palsy before. She told us it happens during deliveries, an injury that occurs when it occurs normally with big babies, when they are pushing them, when they are pulling them and you don't pull them well, it happens. And it's physiotherapy that can help her. And that's whether she can move her hand again. She's not sure how long it will take. It's not sure. We should just be patient. She didn't give up and all those things. Okay. I think at that point I was just off. I'd gone blank. Just off. So my husband was the one who was asking me her questions. So will my daughter ever be able to use her right hand to write? Was she able to? Like, oh, it's possible. She knows of a few people. Some people are there. They can use it, but they are not conscious of the hand. So they normally use the other one more. Though the other one can be used. It's just the nerve, the connection is is broken, so they did not get the sense to use that hand. It's like, okay, I was just blank. Depression. I think I went into a brief moment of, thanks to my family, my depression didn't last for so long. I went into a brief moment. I cried a lot. I was sad. But my family, they were wonderful. They were there. My mom, my aunties, my brother, my husband, my in-laws. They were there. They were there for me. That was sad. At night, I don't sleep. I can just wake up and just be looking at the hand, especially after I went for the physio and they gave me plane to put on anytime she's asleep. It's sort of, is it a POP? Something you put, so she sleeps like this. You put something here, and then she raises her hand and she sleeps like that. So when I see that on her, then she's asleep, she can't do this, she can't do that, she's just there. People say it's not good to ask why me, but I asked God a few times, God, why me? Why? And to think of it that it was not a problem from the womb, it was a mistake. I mean, so oh Christ me. It could have been avoided. I mean, it's avoidable. Just well I don't know. But honestly, with my case, though I was angry, I thought then one shedder, so I'll say one shedder. Because she came to meet the situation. She came later on. She relieved someone from the shift. Possibly she looked at the folder. Baby was big. I don't know. I just want to say it's a one shedder. I want to believe it's a one shedder, but it could have been avoided. I don't know. Maybe midwives need a new lecture. They need a new pooling classes, because it's happening. When I went for physiotherapy, I saw so many children. It's happening. Almost every week, a new baby comes. Some, when they are discharged from the ward, they just come straight there. Every week. Some come with broken bones. With that one, the bone has to heal before they actually start the physiotherapy. It's happening, and it's like they don't care. The nurses, they do it. You go home. Nobody cares about you again. Whether that is moving a hand now, whatever. So one nurse even told me, was it about like, they were not broken. So it's just a nerve. You went to nursing school, a nerve is just a nerve. If it's just a nerve, we went for physiotherapy. We are still going for physiotherapy. She's almost 1 year. I mean, it's just a nerve. So there was a physiotherapist I saw, and I was asking that, bone and nerve injury, which one is more severe? Because they're just a nerve that I had in my auntie's here. Like, she cannot really tell. It depends on the degree of injury. Some bone injury can be more than nerve. Some nerve, it just depends on the degree of injury. Ever since, it's been just us. Nobody has ever bothered to really ask, how is she doing? Especially from the hospital or the midwife involved or anybody. There's a doctor, there are some doctors who are my friends who actually ask. They were not even there when I delivered my baby, but the hospital that they asked. But aside that, nobody from the hospital has ever bothered to find out how we are doing. Even though it's a chart that they give, the sheets they give after delivery, they wrote everything was normal on that sheet. I'm still confused as to why they still wrote that delivery, like everything was fine. So it's like in the hospital records, it's not there that they had a case of ERB'S palsy. And I think at the end of the year, hospital, they should sit down and look at Oh, we delivered how many babies? How many came with problems? ERB'S palsy, how many? Then you see whether you are doing a good job or not. But if you are not putting it in your records, I mean, how can you tell that we are not trying? Yeah, Chianko Fubansa. Children, one hand is shorter than the other, a whole lot of. Well, as I said, my family, they were supportive. They were all sad. I think the day we came home, it was like some sort of quietness and darkness had descended the house when we came with the baby and they saw the hand. Especially when we removed the bandage and then the hand just. I still can't get that picture out of my mind. The hand was dropping. Like, a hand, okay. The other one you can see is bending and maybe will try to hold something, but the other one, it was just there. But my family has been supportive. Even with physiotherapy, they're always with me. I go for physio. But then when I resumed work, they took over, they took care to physiotherapy. And with the ERBs too, the thing is it always comes with something funny. So you have to be cautious. Like it was recently, we noticed that one of her eye, as a young baby, like sometimes with the affected parts. Luckily, the physiotherapist had told me about it before. So there are some, the children even, they tilt. So as you are doing the physiotherapy, you should be seeing a pediatrician every now and then to be sure the child is also growing well. She has this eye thing, sometimes the eye can look like a baby, then all of a sudden it comes back to normal. I was even asking my physiotherapist, so what can be done? He was like, honestly, in all his practice, he hasn't seen that anything can be done about that eye part. So although the ERBs, there comes with certain funny, some delay in walking, so I was always cautious to see whether she will walk. There are some who bite the affected arm. They actually chew the whole arm. So I was always making sure that she doesn't put that hand in her mouth to bite it. There are some, the bone here, it comes out sort of, I think it's because of the too much physio. The bone protrudes. So when you are doing, you have to make sure all those things are not happening, they are correcting and everything. My family has been supportive. There's been prayers. There's been a lot of prayers. My aunties, they go for prayers, they bring water, black water that has been blessed. They add it to a bathing water, we bath her with it. I mean, despite everything, you should see her now. You should see her now. You will marvel. You see, I mean, God has been good to me. Because honestly, when I go for physio, I see other people who have come for 2 years and I see their hand. God has been good. My daughter's hand, like I would have gone to court. If I had not seen light at the end of this tunnel, like, oh, I would have gone to court. So, but so far, you can't tell. If I don't tell you, you can't tell. It's that when she raises her two hands, you can see one is a bit lower. But she's still growing. We are hopeful. She's a happy child. When we see her, we marvel because growing up, we thought she was, though, because of the problem, she wasn't lively. But you see her now. Hey, trouble. We see her marvel that, hey, Johnny, dear Grossa, we're like, oh, she had a very terrible first 3, 4, 5 months, but now she's lively. She's moving her hand. She has been slapping us with her hand. We don't talk because once it's moving, we are happy, so she can slap anybody she wants with that. My first met milestones on time was very on time. Her teething was on time, and she didn't have any serious teething issues. Just temperature here and there. She didn't have any serious thing to take to the hospital. Some take their teething issues. When she crawled on time, she actually stood up. She started standing very early, but taking the first step delayed. Probably because all my children are heavy. They have body, they're quite heavy. So it took some time. By the time she was 1 year, she was walking. She was quite working. So with the second one, her crawling delayed, obviously because of the actually I didn't think she would crawl because I didn't see any of the babies I went to meet at the physiotherapy crawling. So I had closed my mind on crawling. For my children, I think with the milestones they met all. Teething they met. This one, she actually pulls a lot when she's teething. That's the only difference. She pulls a lot when she's teething, but doesn't throw any tantrums. They don't throw any tantrums when they're going through milestones. They just sleep a lot. They will sleep a lot. By the time they wake up, you see something new. So most when they're sleeping a lot, I don't disturb them. I want them to actually go through the process. For my first, because the whole process was new, I think it took a toll of me. I even gained so much weight after my first. Everything was new. The sleepless nights was new. I'm a person, I love my sleep. I like to sleep a lot. I like sleeping so much, I don't understand why my children don't like sleeping. So I think they took their dad, honestly, because they don't like sleeping at all. So the sleepless night took a toll on me, When I don't get enough sleep, I get headache. So every time I was having a headache, it was as if I was sick. I was always checking if I had malaria. They would tell me, "No, you don't have malaria." I was stressed with my first part. I was stressed, and because it was first, I wanted to do everything myself. I wasn't giving people the chance to do things for me. If you know, everything is fine. Everything is fine. So when I resumed work with my first, I was actually excited about resuming work. It's a breath of fresh air. I'm getting something different. I'm going out, something different. I get to relax somewhere. I mean, going to work was more relaxing than coming home to my daughter. And she was quite clingy and needy too. I think that was what made it difficult. She doesn't want to go to anyone. When she sees you, she'll stick with you. She's still like that. But my second, I think with that one, I made up my mind that with the second, I'm going to relax, I'm going to chill. I think I made up my mind so much that even when the hand thing happened, I was like, this is keeping me in check. Because when the hand thing happened, it changed my plans of keeping it chill. I was shielding her too. So I wanted to do everything myself and all, but I was more relaxed. My family, they showed a sense of concern. Some were even concerned more than myself. And also, I was relaxed because I have help. Honestly, if I say I don't have help, I have help. I have aunties who are willing to help. I have a staying auntie who stays with me to help with my children. So, aside the sleepless night, that gave me a challenge. And then once in a while they fall sick. When they are sick, they want to challenge. You don't sleep. You don't sleep. You're always checking temperature. You vomiting here and there. You don't sleep. That one too was challenging, but thankfully you don't fall sick that often. Then what else? Probably balancing with my work. It's quite challenging because I leave home early, I come home late, and there are a few times I have to travel for work. So that means I have to leave them and not see them for about 1 or 2 weeks. So that one is difficult. In the first few days when I'm going, I'm excited but after 3 days, I miss my babies. I miss them, and I'm ready to come home. But I know they are in safe hands always. So the depression is there. It's really there. It's really there. So honestly now, there are times I'll go somewhere, I'll see someone with a new baby in a crowd. I don't complain. Because I'll be like, what are you doing here with a fresh baby? I mean, why would you? No, please, I don't complain. Let them do what will give them happiness. Let them do what will give them peace of mind. Staying at home with your baby all day is not fun. Oh. So if you can pack up and go somewhere and just have a few minutes, or even with them, if you can help them, rather give them help. If they want to do something, you can carry their baby for them for a few minutes. Just offer that. But don't look at them straight like, what are you doing with the baby here? Please. That's what is giving them peace of mind and happiness. Let them do it. The laughter and the giggles. You know, children laughter, yeah, you can't, it can never annoy you. I don't know how a child can laugh and giggle and you'll be annoyed. Then we're before. It's happy, the laughter. Yesterday, my first one turned 3 years. Oh, when she saw the balloon and the cake and everything. Oh, mommy, the way she does it, I love you. Oh. By then, 5 minutes ago, I've shouted in the hill. But when I get there, I love you, mommy, hug me. I mean, and the little fingers around your neck. The first one, when I come home from work, she sees me, she's happy. They all come, she's trying to kiss me. She will lick my face. Yeah. Now that Corona has come, then I'm running away from her to go and bath before. She will just scream. Ah! But all these little things, when you wake up in the morning, they smile. I don't know why they know they are supposed to smile at you in the morning, especially when they've slept well. If they didn't have a good sleep, it's crying that will welcome you. But once they have a good sleep, this morning I got a very lovely smile from my last baby. So all those little things I'm feeling. When you see the dad playing with them too, you can see he's happy. You know, when you see how the family relate to them, you can see everybody's happy they are here. Everything. So that's one nice thing. Something that is yours. And they're happy, we are doing something right. We are definitely doing something right. For my first, I'm always almost shouting on her all the time, but when she sees me, she wants to come to me. I'm like, hey, I must be doing something right for this girl to like me so much. Because when the other one came, I was always shouting at her because I was stressed out and everything. But she was always coming to me at the end of the day. Like, I must be doing something right for this girl to like me so much.
Thank you.
This video was brought to you by Ohenewaa Mother Care. Great stuff for great kids.